Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, welcome to our podcast. I'm Abel and this is my partner.
I'm Alifya. Okay, so this is our first podcast video, and now we have our special guest who would like to share with us today.
Kisti Pinayan. Hi Kisti.
Hi.
Okay, before we jump into our main conversation, can you please introduce yourself first?
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Kisti Adara. You can call me Kisti. I'm a 12th grader in Alifya High School, and I'm here with Abel and Alifya.
Yay. Okay, how are you Kisti?
I'm good, how about you?
I'm good.
Very good.
Yay.
Okay, so how are you doing lately? You are a 12th grader in your school, right? So what is your current activity?
Actually, now I'm just busy with my academics. I've been focusing on my studies. I take extra classes every day, so that's all I'm doing right now. I used to be active in organizations, right? But now I'm done with it because I have other things to prioritize, which are my studies. So what I'm busy in right now is probably my academics.
Yeah, okay. You need preparation, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what major do you want to take?
So since I'm from social sciences, I'm really interested in taking psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which university you want to get it?
Well, my priority is to get to Universitas Gadjah Mada, and I'm taking the international undergraduate program, so the international class. And my second option is to Universitas Indonesia.
Okay, you said that you want to say international course in your college, right? But why don't you just go abroad instead?
So at first, I really wanted to study abroad, but after a long consideration, I feel like for my bachelor's degree, I want to stay in Indonesia because I want to know how it feels to be a university student in Indonesia first. But at the same time, I still want to get international exposure, right? Which is why I'm taking the international class, because I'll be getting more international opportunities while still studying in Indonesia.
Thank you best for you, Kisti.
Yeah, thank you.
Yay. Okay, move on to the next question. Oh yeah, before that.
We saw your LinkedIn, and it says that you were part of several communities, even in Instagram or other platforms.
Yeah. Okay, she was a vice president at Student Council of Madrasah Sanawiyah Pembangunan in Jakarta, and she was a mentee at Gores Denai. She was a graphic designer at Aficom 2021. Aficom is your school competition, right?
Yes.
Like both months. And then she was a content creator at Educatif. She was a mentee at Mulai di Sini. She was a publications coordinator at her student council, Avicenna Student Council. And then she also joined Become More Indonesia, being social media officer and board member.
Okay, because there's many communities, so let's break down one by one.
Okay, let's start from Educatif. Can you tell us more about Educatif and what did you do there?
So Educatif is a startup company that focuses on education. So Educatif offers English classes and courses, and in their social medias they upload educative content. And I was a part-time. I had a part-time job there as a content creator, which I design and I also write some content, and sometimes I also upload them, but mostly I just design and write their contents.
Alright.
Where's your content about?
Let's say I read about how to use this word or what this word means, just any educative content that has relations with English.
Is it non-profit? Or
It's profit. Actually, it's actually a company, a startup company. So it's they offer English courses. So you can say it you can less there. You can take.
You got paid.
I get paid. I got paid. Yeah. So it was part-time job, right? It's not something It wasn't a voluntary project. I was actually getting paid for that. So, but I was working there for only 3 months, and I got a bit overwhelmed, so I kind of quit. But it was a fun experience.
Okay. You were a mentee study in mulai di sini and Goras Denai, right? So I want to know what's the difference between the two community because I personally really want to join one of them.
Okay. So the first mentorship program I joined was the Goras Denai mentorship program, right, which focuses on international exposures and global opportunities. So in this mentorship program, we learn about things that are more to the international aspect. Like let's say I learned about studying abroad, how it feels to study abroad, and how to maximize your global opportunities, like joining international competition. So Mulai di Sini project is also a mentorship program, but it focuses on soft skills, yeah, like maximizing our skills and potential. So in this mentorship program, we had meetings with our mentors, and we can talk to them our struggles at school, and they will help us oh, maybe you can do this, and they will give us advice. Yeah.
So let's say that Goras Denai will be good if you want to grow.
Yes.
When you start at school, or you need help at school. I mean, from external, you can do in Mulai di Sini project.
Yes, or you just simply want to maximize your skills and need more motivation, you can join the Mulai di Sini project program.
Okay. All right. It seems here that start from January 2021 until March 2021, you're handling 3 activities at Ducative, Mulai di Sini, and at your student council as publication coordinator. So how did you manage your time?
Actually, I was struggling to manage my time as well, but what I did was I had to know which ones are my priorities. So of course, since I'm still a student, I have to prioritize my studies, right? So, and it was still online, right? I didn't go to school, to offline school, so I did my classes online. So after my online classes, there are break times, right? And in these break times, sometimes I design or I can brainstorm about the contents I want to write. But when it comes to school hours, then I have to focus on school. And after school, I start doing my organization activities. Let's say I have a deadline this night, then so it's really important to know what our priorities are for the day. So I sometimes make to-do lists for today I want to do this and do that. So in that way it would be more organized. There are homework deadlines, but at the same time I have deadlines for a project. So I must know which one is a priority. Which one should I do first? So let's say I have a project which has to be done at this tonight, but I also have a homework. Then I'm gonna see if I can postpone this homework. Maybe the deadline is tomorrow, then I'm gonna focus on the other project first. So it's really important to know what your priorities are, and in that way it's gonna be easier for us to manage our schedule.
Oh well, even though I think that even though we know our priorities, sometimes we obviously feel burnout or exhausted. Do you think so?
Yeah, there were so many times where I was just doing my daily routine, going to school and doing my organization tasks, but of course it gets really exhausting. And sometimes when this happens, I just pause, just stop doing things for a while and continue. One thing I learned in this process is that it's really important to take breaks regularly. So once you feel you've done something, it's important to take breaks so you can get recharged again, instead of just letting yourself work until you get burned out. So make sure to always take a break. So even if you feel like you still have you're still energized, it's really important to still pause and continue your work.
Well, everyone has their own ways to recharge themselves, and I want to know yours.
My activities are really related to social media, right? Which sometimes drain me a lot. So I sometimes log out from my social media accounts, and in that way I would just be more like refreshed, and I just log back in later. But also in the meantime, I just sleep or just interact with my family, because that way I will be recharged, and yeah.
You did really well, Steve.
Oh my god, thank you.
You guys should see her and her team design on her student council's Instagram.
Thank you, guys.
Like, it was really cool. I
Thank
almost
you.
post it on my first account. Like,
Thank you for the support.
yeah. So you were a publications coordinator at your student council. So what did you do?
Okay, so as the coordinator of the publications. Okay, so as the coordinator on the publications team, I mainly design and upload on social media. So like, let's say there's an event in my school, then I'm gonna take a video. The coordinator, I managed and designed the publication needs, like the Instagram posts and Insta stories.
Okay, maybe it's enough for the organization and the communities. Oh, as a student of social science, what is your favorite subject?
I think it's sociology.
Why?
I like sociology because in this subject we learn about social problems and conflicts, and sometimes these are relatable to things around us, right? So it's just, to me, it's really fun to learn about, especially because I've always been interested in learning about like social conflicts, like what are the trending news. I love reading about them, and it also has a connection to psychology actually. So I've always been interested in learning about sociology. One of the reasons why is because it has a relation to psychology. So both of them talk about human right. Like sociology is more into why a social problem is happening, and psychology is more into how the human brain works.
Yeah.
It's both about human. Well, they're a bit different, but it still has a connection. So I think that's why I like sociology.
Yeah, well, one of us learn sociology, but we have a different curriculum, right?
Yeah.
We do Cambridge and you do international.
Honestly, when I'm studying sociology, I feel like I can analyze why this person do this, why this person do that. Maybe because of his environment, or maybe because his friends, his peers, and things. And I feel so smart.
I feel the same too. Like sometimes after learning sociology and something happened, like an issue happened, I remember something I learned in class. So like, oh, I learned this in this class.
Do you hear about the newest system for entering university?
Yeah.
What do you think?
What about that? Okay. So I think this new policy might be beneficial for lots of parties, like us students, also the parents and teachers. And also, but by the academic test being removed, it doesn't mean that the test is going to be easier. But I think it's going to simplify our like pressure, because memorizing lots of like theories is complicated and hard. But also the new like the things we have to learn about for the test is also, it's not easy, right? Like it's called TPS, right, in Indonesia, like the scholastic test. It's still tricky. I think the removal of the academic test is not gonna make the test easier, but I'm sure it's gonna simplify our pressure. So I support this new policy.
Okay.
How about you?
Well, I think it will be beneficial for us since we don't learn sociology, economic, and math with national curriculum.
Yeah.
We learn from Cambridge, so we don't have to learn again.
We don't have to learn them all.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I guess. So it's actually the last question. Thank you, Kisti, for sharing your
Yeah,
work.
thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so that's all our first podcast video with Kisti. Hope you guys enjoy and can take some lesson from her.
Yeah.
And see you on the next podcast.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.